AITA for laughing when she suggested my husband groomed me. I, 30M male, have been with my husband, 40 male, for 6 years, and we've been married for 2. Recently, we got a new co-worker, let's call her Sarah, who seems really keen on helping others. During lunch one day, Sarah and I were talking about relationships, and she asked about my marriage. I told her how long we've been together, and she got this serious look on her face. She said something like, you know, that age difference is a bit concerning. Are you sure he didn't groom you? I was completely caught off guard. My husband and I have a perfectly healthy relationship, and honestly, I intentionally sought out someone older because I like the stability and experience that comes with it. The idea of him grooming me just seemed so absurd that I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing. I didn't intend to be rude, but it was just so ridiculous to me. Sarah mumbled something I didn't care to hear and left the conversation soon after. I thought it was over, but later I found out that she's been talking behind my back, telling the other coworkers that I was rude for laughing at her and that she was just trying to help. But what really got me was that she's been telling people to avoid my creepy husband at an upcoming work party, as if he's some kind of predator. Now I'm starting to feel a bit guilty for how I reacted, but also kind of furious that she's bad-mouthing my husband, who she's never even met. Comments by OP. I didn't specifically choose him for the past 10 years. I had my dating app set to 30+. When we met I had just graduated with my master's and was well established in my career, but no one my age that I knew, outside of work, was that way, so I wanted someone on my level, if that makes sense. I also just find 30-plus-year-olds more attractive, and he has green flags all around. That's the hard part. I'm her boss so I could straight up fire her, but I feel like the optics would make it worse. I've never been one to care what people think of me, but the slander of my husband pissed me off. I'll probably try talking to her first, with a witness too, and see what's up and why she's saying things, then escalate to HR if need be. We're both grown adults so hopefully something can be resolved without involving HR yet. They've been known to be either effective or nonchalant about workplace disputes. Update, 11 days later. After my last post, things got worse with Sarah. She wouldn't stop making comments about my relationship, always bringing up how concerning the age difference was or making vague comments about grooming and power dynamics. At first, people politely listened, but after a while, she repeated it so often that people started to get annoyed. Even those who didn't know the full story could tell she was going overboard. As basically everyone suggested, I decided to email HR to address the situation, but I made it clear that I didn't want her to get in trouble, just wanted to resolve things and move on. HR was, well, HR, and they begrudgingly set up an informal meeting with both of us present. During the meeting, I explained how her comments were bothering me and that I felt they were inappropriate. Sarah's defense was odd. She started by saying she was just looking out for me and couldn't stand by and watch something bad happen. But then she got defensive, saying things like, you just don't know what it's like to be manipulated, and I've seen situations like this go bad. She was basically implying that she was some kind of expert on relationships like mine without actually knowing anything about it. At first I thought maybe she had experienced something like this and felt some sympathy, but honestly I hate making assumptions about people's past and due to her constant talking, I assumed it would have come out if it was actually the case. At that point, I asked her, Sarah, how old do you think I am? She looked a bit flustered and hesitated before saying, like 24, 25, which made no sense because I clearly look my age. I had to hold back my laughter again. When I told her I was 30, her face turned bright red, and she didn't know what to say. The room got pretty awkward after that. HR stepped in and gently reminded Sarah that while it's okay to care about coworkers, constantly making unsolicited comments and spreading rumors wasn't appropriate. Sarah didn't say much after that and seemed pretty uncomfortable. She apologized, though it felt half-hearted. Since the meeting, she stopped making comments about my husband, but things between us have been pretty awkward. At least the issue is resolved, and I'm happy HR handled it without escalating things further.